I was born in Vecny, Lithuania, back in 1938. We've been fortunate enough to find our way to the United States in 1948, right after the war. But everybody was taking the opportunity to get out from underneath the communist thumb. We knew that if we stayed any longer, we'd either be sent to Siberia, my dad would probably be executed. We had no choice but pick up and go. Coming to the New York harbor, everybody stood out there with tears in their eyes, watching the Statue of Liberty and wondering about the new beginning in the land of freedom that they can only imagine. My oldest brother was a big aviation fan. Even at that time in 1941, 42, built his own glider. He found two big rubber cables which he tied to the tail end of the airplane, and he had about 10 people pulling it and stretching those cables, and he'd sit in the pilot seat, and then they would fire him up like a rubber band, and he actually got airborne. After I graduated from Texas Tech through the Air Force ROTC program, went to pilot training at Reese Air Force Base, and graduated in 1966. One of the most memorable things is soloing in a T-37, and the second was flying solo in a T-38. It's supersonic and doing all the fun things that you can do. My first assignment was Homestead Air Force Base, just south of Miami. It was a great assignment. We had the B-52Hs, which were the latest B-52s, and we flew the alert missions with nuclear weapons. I flew as a forward air controller in Vietnam, so I went from the biggest airplanes to the smallest. But it was a very interesting mission, and we had the out-of-country mission. It was a 24-hour coverage in Laos, flying the Ho Chi Minh Trail, interdicting anything that would come from the north. And then we'd direct the fighters, have them hold, and then we'd mark the target for them, and then we'd tell them from which side to strike and what was a safe way to get out, to make sure that they're shot at, that they're not going, that what's the best chances of them bailing out over where or whatever. So you were kind of manage the combat in the areas.